Welcome to Fifth Dimensional Life, Mass Human Awakening. I'm Lise, your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be talking about the Pleiadians and also my interaction with them, all the different downloads that I've gotten from them as well, if I can remember them all. So in one of my previous videos, I talked about my encounters with reptilian beings. And it was about 3 weeks after that, near the end of December 2019, where I had, gone to bed. It was normal type evening, just went to bed, very much unaware. And in the middle of the night, I was woken up by these two Pleiadian beings at the foot of my bed. This time I could feel their loving vibrations so intensely. They were quite bright, like almost physically like hurting my eyes. That bright. I could really only see like from the bottom of like their neckline up to like the top of their head. And their like auric field, which I don't usually see auras very often, if ever. And like their bodies were basically like energy, like it they were super bright, but I could still kind of like see their facial features. There was a female and then there was also a male. The male kind of looked like this guy. The female kind of like this. Maybe her face wasn't as like skinny. I've looked through these. I couldn't find one that looked too similar to her, but they both had very light colored hair, blue eyes. I couldn't tell what they were wearing. They were just very intensely bright, and I could just feel like a pouring over of like loving vibration throughout the room. It was such a difference from the reptilians that I had come into contact with. And when they took a look at me, they were kind of like, I could tell that they were bothered by my energy, my frequency. It was almost like kind of a shock, but just very uncomfortable for them. And I was kind of like, hey, give me a break. Like, I didn't know you guys were coming. Like, and they were just like, hey, you have to get off of your medication that you're on. I was on this really harsh birth control and some, I think it was like sertraline, because I was having so much, I was having like heart palpitations and just like I was super anxious from the birth control that I was on. And because I had an ectopic pregnancy about a year before that. And I just, I wasn't able to really be in a position to be totally healthy to have a baby yet. And so they were just like, you have to get off of this medication. It's hurting your body. And they also said you have to clean up your diet, you have to like get rid of meat, you have to cleanse your body, like. And they kind of showed me like my cells are just like there's like too many toxins in my body, like heavy metals and parasites. And also like my vibration was just kind of all over the place. My auric field was damaged. My awareness was like quite low as well of everything that was going on. And they just kind of gave me this like long list of things. I don't think I can even remember all of it now. But one thing that they were very firm on was that they said, you have to start groups in your local area. You have to start groups, plural. And I was kind of like, what? Like they said basically kind of like awakening groups. And they went on, like it was a longer meeting when they were there than the reptilians were. And I just, as strange and odd as it was also very like blissful to be in their presence. It wasn't something like I had really ever experienced before. I've had experiences in the past with like my guardian angel and like different angels around and Jesus and God, like those heavenly type beings. But these beings were so different than anything that I had ever been aware of. And I had so many throughout my life, just, vicious psychic attacks and low vibrational entities and beings that it was so nice and lovely and warm and comforting and wonderful to be in the presence of these beings who, I don't know exactly what dimension they're from, if they're from the fifth or sixth or around. I imagine that they're probably from either the fifth or sixth. And, it was just like, I was very awestruck from the experience. But again, even at that point, at the end of 2019, I was just like, what the, like, what is going on? First, I get these reptilians. Now I have these, I didn't even know what they were called at the time. I had no idea. I was just like, Nordics, I don't know, they're blonde and they were really lovely and wonderful and caring and compassionate in a way, but they were very honest with me, my state that I was in, what I needed to do in my life to heal myself and to progress my consciousness and my soul. And so many things didn't make sense. Like I had no idea. I had so many questions from that. And I don't think I even told anyone after that meeting because I was just like, this is so bizarre. I had no way of confirming these things. My husband didn't notice anything. Nobody else, like there was no indication that any beings were there. And so I was like, hey, what can I do? And I had this book for quite a few years, The Journey of Souls, I think by Michael Singer. Amazing book. He has a couple different, or I think it's like a series of them, and they're all case studies of hypnotherapy cases that he has had as clients. And I remember that there was people who had encountered extraterrestrials and they were able to recount the moments that they had with these beings, whether they were abductions or experiences, whatever they were. So I was kind of, January is a busy month. Same with February. I was actually going on my honeymoon in February, and we got back, I think it was like mid-February, and that's when like the virus kind of like broke out, and it was so bizarre. And then I got so wrapped up in the fear of the virus at the beginning, and I was super sick. I like felt that I had it at one point, and I couldn't get a test at all. They weren't testing people for whatever reason. It was just ridiculous, but I was so fearful of it and so totally like wrapped up in it, and I was blind to like the true deep meaning of it. And then I just started seeing cracks in the narrative, and then I watched like Falk Ball and Out of Shadows and like a whole bunch of endless videos. I went down endless rabbit holes, and I was just like, it was like my mind exploded, like holy smokes, I can actually like put all the dots together now. Plus I had those two pretty big encounters that were like so bizarre, and I had all those questions, but I kind of like hid them away for a while because I was like, that's too weird. I don't know, I don't know. So, but like what I did know, I was like, okay, well, maybe if I do hypnotherapy sessions, I can find out more information. So I ended up booking 3 sessions of regular hypnosis and then a session of quantum healing hypnotherapy. And in the first hypnotherapy session, I found out that I had been abducted a few times and they had taken my eggs, and I had a whole bunch of gray human hybrid children. And that really, like, really rocked me. I was so upset. I was so traumatized. And then, like, I was just like, I don't know if I want to have anything to do with all these extraterrestrials. Like, how could they do this to me? How can they keep all this stuff from people? Like, how is this right? And and then, like, I had another session and I went in and did like inner child healing, and it helped me so much. And I actually got to see one of my past lifetimes as a Pleiadian, and it was so cool. It was so amazing. I remember I was like, I had my big, huge Pleiadian body, and I had like blue skin. My feet were huge, and I even made that comment during the session. I was like, oh my God, my feet are massive. My toes were so long, my hands, my fingers were so big, so long. My hair was like super, super long. I was a female. I didn't get to see like my face. It was just like point of view, like me and my Pleiadian body. And I was like lying on this beautiful white chaise lounge. It was so cool. And then it was kind of like dark outside, but I was like in this building. It was like a lot of like blues and whites, and there was like some water moving, or like a fountain or something. I can't remember all the details now, but it was just amazing. I was like, okay, I want to go back to that life at some point. I want to be a Pleiadian again, because that just looked like you were in a spa or something. I don't know. It was beautiful. It was amazing, and very awe-inspiring in so many ways. Um, and I get, messages to this day from them, from these beings. And I know that they've actually been with me like throughout my whole life and helping guide me, giving me downloads of information on highly advanced technology, on things like advice in my life, on so many different levels. Also helping me with my discernment of energy, with humans and with like certain things that I'm doing. I'll check in with them, and they're just, I have such a strong connection with them. And also with Acturians too. Yeah, I feel like very close to those ones, and and Mantis beings too. And then I have a little bit of a love-hate with the Greys and the Reptilians. Um, and there's so many other ones too out there. Like, again, there's like endless types of different beings out there, and we share DNA with them. We are kind of like their children in a way, and they want us to see them as like their teachers or like their elders, their brothers, sisters, cousins. Like, we are family of the light, and they have karmic bonds with us. They helped seed Atlantis and Lemuria, and certain things happened that didn't go well, and it fell long, like ages ages ago. And they're coming back now to help us. And then there's certain starseed beings like myself who we've had connections and help throughout our whole life, and now it's just becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And I am so excited for the future, and what it has to hold for us. And you can look up the Pleiades, where they're from. There's 7 different stars in their system. Doesn't that look amazing? Absolutely beautiful. And like, I had no idea about any of this stuff. Even after they visited me, I was like, what? Elizabeth April channels them quite a lot. I think she's also mentioned like her past lifetimes as a Pleiadian. There's lots of stuff on like Gaia. There's tons of information on Pleiadians. and Pleiadians.net, like, yeah, lots of great information out there. They are very much like counselors to the our solar system. They're helping us progress our consciousness. And yeah, this one's spiritualunite.com. What you need to know about Pleiadians. They can heal us. But like the big thing with ETs, like they want us to realize that we can heal ourselves and that we are co-creating our reality and that we have so much power within us. They're very, very, very much into like empowerment, which is absolutely beautiful. And here's an interesting one about starseed traits, Pleiadian starseed traits. And yeah, so you can kind of look through this and see, you know, what, if you have anything that kind of resonates within you. You can have like your Akashic records read. You can go into deep meditations. You can do C5s or E-SETIs, connect with Pleiadians, and just, yeah, if you feel called to it, this is, Pleiadians are an excellent resource, an excellent way to connect with benevolent, loving beings. There are certain ones that have turned to the dark side. They're like rogue Pleiadians, and they've like changed their appearance to look different, and they use the dark, like evil, malevolent, for their power, because they are very high vibrational, high powered beings. You know, we live in a dual universe that they can use dark or light, but majority of them choose to be in the light. And like it's very, very, very important to know about both sides of it, and even the neutral type ETs out there. There's always way more benevolent, loving ones than there are dark, malevolent ones. But it's so important to know, okay, the good and the bad and everything in between, and that we have Pleiadian DNA in us. We have reptilian, we have like over 20 different types of beings. Some people even say there's like over 40 different types. So I don't know 100% for sure. All I know is that we are akin to them. And to use your discernment when you are connecting with ETs. And yeah, I have a really cool book on the extraterrestrial species almanac. I'll just read a couple things out of here. Like their conscious abilities, they're fully conscious, sovereign, telepathic beings. They also cast their consciousness into the future to preview an event in their life. Most do this when a baby is in their womb, to see what the child's needs will be throughout its life. That's pretty cool. Dimensional capacity, Pleiadians have multi-realm commandership. They favor the fifth dimension because the body becomes more like spirit. When the central sensation of touch remains, consciousness is crystal clear, and the unconditional love vibration has increased manifold. Universal origin, Pleiadians hail from the Pleiades star cluster, aka the Seven Sisters, located in the Taurus constellation. In Greek mythology, Zeus, Ares, Poseidon. That's interesting, because Poseidon, he was like the one that came to me in one of my prophetic dreams right before I like had a near-death experience on a boat, and he was the being that came out of the ocean. Anyways, so these Greek mythology beings had affairs with the seven heavenly sisters and bore children with them. So they have mixed DNA, you know, like every one of these beings have been in existence for eons, if you can imagine that. Their belief system is they follow the cosmic law of one. They are spiritually advanced race that uses 100% of their brain capacity. They are egoless beings who have unified their heart and mind to work as one for the betterment of all universal kind. They believe that since all intelligent life has a DNA and RNA code, we share a common ancestry. We are all particles of the cosmos in its infinitesimal and grand states. They practice a unified field of trust, truth, and unconditional love. I totally feel that, which reaches out to interact with every particle in the universal fabric of space and time. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Pleiadians, as well as other star nations, know that the soul is a living library. All we have to do is pull our book from the shelf and turn the pages to find the answers that we seek. The living library of Akasha was built by the energy of the one. Therefore, it was structured by all. Every soul is in its own recorder and stores information in the library. So they're basically referencing the Akashic records in the eighth dimension there. So absolutely fascinating. It goes on in this book to talk about like Pleiadian families and like their technology. Let's read about their technology. Pleiadians have galacterian motherships, starships, thought ships, fleet ships, and scout ships. Their craft and command centers use biological supercomputers, and the ships are equipped to travel through time-space funnels and inner space continuum. Pleiadian master teachers are able to transport themselves either in singular or group Merkaba vehicles. Elizabeth April has traveled in those Merkaba vehicles with them. Her stories are absolutely mind-blowingly amazing, and they give you chills. The other way is they can enter space portals to travel to other sectors of the universe. Their most common healing tools include the healing pyramid and the light metallic wand. I want one of those. Through imaging technology, Pleiadians can create physical objects from nothingness, physically materialize and dematerialize, reverse the aging process, and alter space, time, and reality. I've heard that they can also live quite a lot longer. Some of them may be hundreds of years, some of them may be even thousands of years. It doesn't say too much in here, but I've had other people say things like that. So I want to know everything and more about them and all of the other beings too. So I hope you learned a lot about them, these beautiful, amazing beings. Yeah, I feel super connected to them, and I'm so blessed to have seen them in in their kind of energetic flesh form, and to have gotten so much great, wonderful information from them, and still be contacting with them and getting downloads from them. And I have to say they are pretty aloof though when it comes to certain things, because they won't tell you until you ask the right questions, and they won't tell you certain information that you're not able to hear. They're very, very very safe, I guess you could say. They like to play by the rule book of the law of non-interference and not giving too much information away that they shouldn't be, really. So unless your soul is at the level where you are able to get that information, or if it's information that you need at the time, like what they did for me to tell me the things I needed to know to heal myself, and to give me some guidance in my life. And wow, they've helped me so much. And I hope that if you are called to, you're able to connect with them and send them and show so much love back and forth from them, because they are truly majestic, beautiful beings, and I'm so blessed to have made contact with them, real contact. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.